Hello dear friends, colleagues and students. My name is Dmitry Gishpin-Chernov. I'm a tenor opera singer and I would like to share with you in this video some thoughts that came spontaneously to me while practicing and warming up today, some conclusions that I want to share with you. Now, because every time we have a long arguing and discussions about that, I want to say in the beginning two things. First, everyone is different. We're all similar but different. So I can talk about things that work for me, for my students. And the second thing is that I'm basically talking to singers who have already experience in vocal technique. It's very important, especially at the beginning, to build your vocal technique with a good teacher who can always hear you, control you, give you the right exercises and develop you. So I want to talk about resonance. My point today is that often we hear that we need to place the voice somewhere. Placement, maschera, to put the voice somewhere. How do you put it? On the high notes, on the low notes, and so on. And to find the resonance. Now, when you already do it, it's easy to explain it this way. But if you learn and if you're still discovering the basics of it, I want to tell you one important thing. The resonance already exists inside of you. When you're talking, since you're a little child, when you're screaming, you're using your resonance. So basically what we need to do is to observe ourselves. The teacher can give us good exercises to find it, but when we practice, many students have a problem. They always think out. They think how to find this resonance. I think the better way to do it is observing yourself. I'll give you an example. Any humming, any sound you do, activating your vocal cords, you can use as an exercise to observe your resonance, where it works particularly for you, in which part of the body, and then translate these sensations. Remember them on the body level, yes, so on the muscular level. Remember them and translate them to singing and practice them to make it equal and to make it stable. That's the main point, stability and equality. For example, if we do, I want to repeat, of course I'm doing it already, breathing, always breathing, never do anything without an air. No air, no singing, no phonation, okay? You put your hand, here's the time when you can close your eyes, a bit like a meditation, and observe where do you feel the sensations from up to down, yeah? It changes, yes? Then, for example, you take another exercise. It was low with low larynx and you really feel the sensations here. Let's go to another extreme, like baby screaming. Really, screaming. Very good for vocal cords closure and for what we call forward singing, yeah, the squillante, the squillo resonance that rings in the big hole. Now, the correct way, of course, will be to use as much resonance as you can. The deep one, the low one, the squillo one, and then, of course, work on the balance between them. But in generally, it should be comfortable and it should be natural. And the word natural, which also used a lot in a wrong way, doesn't mean the way you talk on the street, a person can open the mouth and sing. No, opera is not natural, it's a bodybuilding. But after you develop your muscles, after you're using correctly your breathing, which is a vocal technique, then it's becoming natural for you. And what do I mean by natural? The way it goes out, that's the way it's natural for you after developing the skills. I give you an example. I can do I repeat it, I concentrate, I try to remember my sensations. Different sensations, some of them similar, some of them different. I try to, it's like a program, to remember it as well. Different sensations, some of them the same, there are much more here, it's very individual. Don't listen to teachers who tell you where to put the sound. First of all, you cannot put it anywhere. Second of all, you may feel it here, he can feel it there, somebody feels it here and somebody here. And for each one of them, they do the same thing, but they have different feelings. If you try to repeat the feelings of your teacher, who has different bone structure, different body, you will not succeed because you will put it in a wrong place, which works for him, but not for you. The goal is to basically do the same, and the result, which is where you feel it, is very different. So let's go to the bottom of it, yeah? And then I take this and trying now to open a real sound involving all the resonances I felt now. Of course, it takes days and months and years. Yes, I'm showing it very short. And then I get it feels very easy and it feels natural, but it's actually a conclusion of muscular training and observing, meditating, if you want, on all these resonances, okay? And that sound is my sound. And I think above it, you don't need to try to put it anywhere and to make too much chemistry there with your body and with your mechanism, okay? And that's how you sing. And then I put it on vowels and consonants. Right? And basically that's the whole idea of singing. And then you expand it, expand the amplitude, expand the volume possibilities, expand the high notes, basically doing always the same, taking it to this extreme and to this extreme, and while studying, checking the limits of your body. And then of course you have the fast arias, especially for example young Verdi, which is very useful to use how to play with this resonance. Combining on together memory. No, ne, no. Del mio cuore l'impero non c'è, meglio ad una che all'altra beltà. No. Now I want to show you that there is no miracle about extreme high notes. And if I take, for example, which is in my case very useful, this baby screaming, let's call it, exercise, which works really on vocal cords closure, then when I sing something extremely high, for example, mi bemol, yeah, there is a very nice video of a great tenor Salvatore Fisichella, which takes this high mi bemol in the opera Beatrice di Tenda, with full orchestra playing, with a choir singing, and he, instead of the soprano, just going there up and taking it. And it sounds, wow. Of course, it's up to the physical abilities that you were born with. But if we think about, how he does it, there is no miracle in that. And I can show you, for example, if I do the exercise, very gentle, yeah, but very direct. Don't hurt yourself. I'm not switching to falsetto. No. My body, after doing it day after day, with rest of course, remembers this kind of sensations. And then when you have the note and you just open it, you kind of adding to it your basic mechanism, which is breathing, open cage, relaxed middle low larynx, never high larynx, and then it just opens up. And then even if I play very loud, let's say, yes, I can show you how it works. You just do it, and you're basically using the exercise, this body muscle memory of the resonance. You don't put it there, you just kind of go back to this sensation while adding to it all the stuff that I said before. Let's go to the opera, for example. In the whole, because it's activating the very, very high formant of the resonance. We stretch the vocal cords, we use tenors, this exercise, and then you add to it your body, your breathing, your cage. And this, a bit of this kind of feeling, you cannot do it, you can do it here. You cannot do it there because it's too much airstream through the vocal cords, which are very, very stretched. But body memory, and even when it's loud, you don't think about screaming it, about passing or cutting the orchestra. It will happen by itself. And I just showed it as an example how you translate this kind of exercises, which sounds strange and weird, to a real extreme singing when you need it in the opera. Here in the low register I would use more chest exercises, but I still will add always a bit of this squillante feeling, right? We don't go nasal. By the way, nasality is another issue. People always blame you for being nasal in high notes. No, I can prove it to you. Look here, there's gonna be a video about how to check if you're nasal or not, and another video here about how to singing through the passaggio and getting there. But basically, even if we go to this E flat, no nasality and no falsetto, yeah? It takes a lot of practicing, and again, if you're a beginner, please don't go there alone, because there is a very big chance you will get mistakenly bad habits, and that's the way to hurt your instrument. Even though if you have a very good nature and you still can do it, it has to be done very, very correctly. Think about it exactly like professional bodybuilding. You can lift this very heavy weight, you cannot do it wrong. If you do it wrong, that's the way to destroy your muscles, and then you will never be able probably to do it again. So very, very careful. So you see, it's very different from placing the voice, because in placing the voice there is a lot of work and a lot of artificial approach, I would say. But in remembering your resonance, meditating on it, and then just using these sensations through yourself, it's much easier and much more productive work. So you're welcome to leave comments, your experience, your critique, and follow the channel if you find it interesting. I have a lot of videos about singing. See you on the next video. Ciao ragazzi, buona fortuna a tutti.